everybody, welcome back to Life Princess Size with me, Pallavi. We're here to talk about weddings as usual. This year the wedding season is really just going on and on, so almost in every video I'm going to end up saying, hey, the wedding season is here, because this time the first half of the year is also really heavy with weddings, which is a little unusual क्योंकि ज़्यादातर October, November, December are heavy for weddings. This year, Jan, Feb, I think March, even April is a little busy for shadis. So yeah, lots more time for masti. And I know a lot of you would be, almost there for your functions and would be getting ready with all the main things sorted and choti cheezein ab tak reh gayi hongi. So that's why we're doing this special video on Mehndi design ideas. So hopefully you got your Mehndi wali sorted, decor, food, all of that done, and now we can actually sit down and come up with some interesting design ideas. So if you're looking for Mehndi ideas, please make sure you watch this video. If you're attending a wedding, still watch this video, because you as a sister or a friend of the bride will also want some new interesting Mehndi designs on your hands. So in any case, watch this video, make sure you give this a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and please do share this video with all your friends who are attending weddings and are just generally fond of Mehndi, because who isn't? I think Mehndi is something most girls have sort of grown up with. It's something we all love, even if you're not really getting married. It's, at least for me, I was initially very not keen on most traditional things to do with weddings except Mehndi. So that was one thing even I was really enthused about. So let's start with some Mehndi ideas which are a little hatke. The first trend that's going around these days is to do thematic Mehendis. Really hats off to all these brides who are getting these kind of designs done, and hats off to the artists who are doing this, because people are going all out with their thematic Mehendis. So typically this would include your love story, your proposal story, where you met, where he proposed, and things like that. There are brides who have dedicated their Mehendis to their favorite shows. There are Simpsons Mehendis, Game of Thrones Mehendis. There are brides who have dedicated their Mehendis to their loved ones, so their dogs who they might have lost, or their parents, or just the bride and groom themselves with some quirky quotes about them, and just a whole lot of these really hatke thematic Mehndi designs which are very, very elaborate, very complicated. My only piece of warning with these designs is, one, it will take you a really, really long time to get it done. So if you're keen on one of these designs, please be prepared to sit like this for a long time, because a typical, normal, traditional Mehndi design, even if you have two people working on you, will take you a good 2 to 3 hours just for your hands. And something with intricate designs like Dula, Dulhan, Varmala, King and Queen, Tash cards, and all of these will take you a really long time. And of course the Mehndi walas are going to charge you a lot more, because of course their artistic talent is being used here. It's not just straight lines for them. So with these elaborate thematic designs, be prepared for a lot of time and a lot of money. But it's a really nice canvas to play around with, to really make your Mehndi very personalized and sort of tell a story through your hands. The next kind of interesting design idea that's not really new, but there's lots to play with, is interesting text. So a lot of people are doing things like good vibes only, or some romantic quote or a romantic poem. The version of this that we did, probably I think 7 years ago, we started this at my sister's wedding, and then all the girls in the family did this, because I really love how it looks visually, is that we got the Gayatri Mantra written here on our wrists. In terms of visual effect, that looks really good. It breaks the design very well. So you have all these geometric motifs, and then suddenly you have two bands with text, so that always looks really nice. Then the third kind that people are really going out for is Mehndi jewelry. Again, this is not something really new, but it still looks really good. It's especially at the back of the hand, it looks very elegant. Some small designs, because you don't want to go all out, so you can just get a Mehndi jewelry done, or a Mehndi lace glove. Now this one looks really interesting, and what I love most about this is that, especially if for your reception or something you're going to be wearing an Indo-Western outfit, it goes really well with that also, because otherwise an Indo-Western outfit with the Mehndi looks like a bit of a clash. So a lace glove design looks really beautiful and intricate, and you can go in for that. The next idea I have for you is like what do I say? This is Punjabis going all out and, you know, telling the world that they can actually put in bling anywhere they want. And somebody, I saw this picture on Hitchton Click's page, somebody's actually done a diamond encrusted mehendi, and I thought this idea was just so cool for those brides who love and who can't get enough of their bling. So this particular bride got some diamond encrusting. I'm sure these are like those diamond bindi kind of things stuck with a proper lash glue, and if it isn't, I just gave you a really great DIY सस्ता जुगाड़ू idea कि वो वाली बिंदी लो, lash glue थोड़ी सी hard रहेगी, उससे चिपक जाएगा, and then you have diamond encrusted mehendi. So that's something really hatke. Okay, so the next kind of design that I absolutely love, so this is my personal favorite style, which is very minimalistic mehendi. Again, especially on the back of the hands, just a few dots here and there, just few basic geometric designs look amazing. And here my tip for you is to make the maximum use that you can of negative space. So if you leave a lot of the area blank and then just, you know, there's a small little design that gets highlighted way more than just filling everything up with design. Minimalistic mehendi, I think, is the way forward for the millennial bride, and that's just something that everybody can really carry on into their honeymoon as well, because then otherwise you get a little uncomfortable wearing your western outfits and full mehendi till here. So minimalistic designs like these are a great idea, and I also find this one like really sweet and special because I love everything to do with Indian handicrafts, Indian traditional artwork, and this idea of incorporating Warli art into the mehendi I think is absolutely special. It just looks so different, it looks so cute, and it's a really nice ode to Indian tradition and Indian art forms. So you can try different Indian traditional art forms like Warli. So these were my ideas for mehendi designs that you can do on your hands, and now let's move on to the feet. Now, if you ask my personal opinion, when you're wearing that huge lehenga, your mehendi on your feet is not really going to show a lot unless you're very particular and you kind of lift up your lehenga enough for people to really notice. So I personally did not want to get a lot of mehendi on my feet, and that's why again I went in for a very minimalistic design and just got a simple zigzag on the sides of my feet. So I think this is a really great way to play around with mehendi. Just get that little token thing on your feet and yet let it look very, very stylish. The other interesting thing that brides are now doing is mehendi on the soles of your feet. Now, I really don't know how much of this you can kind of show off other than just doing a photo op. But hey, if you want to play around with your hands, why not play around with your feet and just get some really interesting designs on the soles as well. Then the third kind of mehendi designs for your feet are the elaborate kinds, and these are for brides who really want to show them off. And I love this design where this bride got a full skyline of various cities that they have or are planning to visit together. And so there's Hong Kong, and you just these lovely skylines, and this particular design looks really good even with your western outfits. So even if you're planning on wearing shorts throughout your honeymoon, this will still look really cool, and it's really going to make heads turn. And yeah, everybody's going to want to know, hey, what is this? Ye kya kar raha hai? Oh, Indian henna and all of that. So I think this is a really cool idea for those of you who want to go in for elaborate mehendi on your feet as well. So these were the design ideas for your hand and feet, and now just some general tips for your mehendi process. So tip number one for your mehendi day is to actually estimate and keep a lot of time in hand for the actual application of your mehendi, and be prepared that it's going to be really tiring. If you're even getting mehendi up until here, it's going to take you at least 3 hours for the entire process to be completed. It gets tiring sitting like this, so make sure your sisters and your friends are around to kind of, you know, put cushions around you, feed you, and make you drink something in between. So estimate at least 3 to 5 hours for your entire mehendi process, depending on how elaborate your design is. So typically you'd want to start getting your mehendi done maybe 2 hours before the function starts, so that by the time everybody's there, you're actually able to enjoy and dance around rather than keep sitting like this throughout your function. The second tip is please be very, very mindful about the weather, because as you all know, mehendi, while you're applying it and the effect it has on your body is a cooling effect. and typically most weddings are in the winter season. So please make sure that either your function is a day function and check the forecast. If it's a sunny day, then you're good. Otherwise, please make enough arrangements for sigdis and electric heaters to be around you, because the last thing you want is catching a cold the day before your wedding just because you didn't plan it well and just because you wanted to get a lot of mehndi done. So please have enough arrangements to keep you warm. The third tip I have for you is please have very clear discussions and communications with your mehndi artist about what exactly are your expectations for your design, because the charges that they tell you will be based on that. So don't tell them कि हाँ मुझे basic मेहंदी चाहिए, and on the day actually tell them कि अच्छा कुत्ता भी बना दो, बिल्ली भी बना दो, पालकी भी बना दो, घंटी भी बना दो, मंदिर भी बना दो, all of that, because obviously that's going to add up to the cost and you don't want a messy scene at a function. So it's best to be professional about it. Tell them very clearly, go through their photo album, choose the designs or bring in your own designs, whichever way, and get a clear estimate on how much it's going to cost you. And similarly, when you're ordering mehendi for your guests, please give them a very clear indication on the number of guests, number of hands, because you don't want it to become a messy affair there at the venue. The fourth tip for your mehendi function is, I think this is something most of you would already know, but just in case you don't, if you like, which I think most people do, like their mehendi to look really dark the next day. So tip number one, of course, when your mehendi is drying, please put nimbu chini. Avoid using water on your hands at all. You don't need to actually scrape off your mehendi. Once it dries, it'll just fall off naturally, and that's the best way. Try not to wash your hands a lot that day. I know it sounds gross, but if you want a darker mehendi, and then at the night, apply Vicks or Iodex on your hands and feet, and then cover them up with the sock. So basically the idea is to just give it more and more warmth, and that will ensure that the color becomes really dark the next morning. And then there's another gharelu nuska that you put a tawa on the stove, and then you put 4 or 5 cloves or long on it and really heat it up, bring it up to a smoke, and then just seko your hands over that. So these are some gharelu nuskas for getting really dark mehendi the next morning. I hope you liked all these ideas. I hope you like these tips, and they are actually practical, simple, but they're actually really useful tips. And I hope you have a great mehendi function. Don't forget to subscribe and give this video a big thumbs up, and please keep coming back for more. Thanks for watching, guys.